Are you ready to start working on some Christmas projects? If you are, I have a new Ko-fi freebie that I will be putting out today. It is a page flip made with tags. So this is one tag, the second tag with a pocket and a smaller tag, and then an even smaller tag with a couple of extra embellishments. So let's go ahead and get these cut out, and I'll come right back. All right, I cut everything out and inked it. You can either fold these little flaps by hand or use your scoreboard. It really doesn't matter. I will tell you though, when you're inking, because these fold onto themselves, you want to ink around the edges on the inside as well, in case some white part shows. So I did that for all of these. The tags are all inked, pockets all inked. Cut out whatever notch you like in your pocket. I use this. You can use a circle punch, whatever you normally use. All right, so let's put our tags together. And here's a little made-up prototype that I did. It would sit on your page like this. So when you got to the page, that's what it would look like. And then this flips out, and then this opens up all the way. Okay, so that's what we're gonna try to achieve here. All right, and I'm gonna put this aside just as a reference, because you can easily get confused. The other thing I would recommend when you're doing this is to use a glue that gives you some wiggle room, because you really need to make sure that you leave some space when you're hooking these tags together, because you want the tags to be able to fold over and sit nicely on top of each other, okay? And if you've got it too tight, they're gonna stick up. So make sure, I'm gonna use glue stick. Okay, so looking at the prototype, here's my larger tag. This is the hinge that's going to attach to my journal page, like so. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this flap in. You could cut this off if you wanted to. I'm leaving it just to make a sturdier tag. The other thing to keep in mind is that if things, as you're putting them on, feel a little bit too tight, you may have to tweak the folding a little bit more to make everything fit. And if tweaking the folding causes white edges to show, you just trim those off. There won't be much. All right, so let's go ahead and get this tag glued together. Press down really good. And you can see when you hook it to the page, I've got to leave a little bit of room there so that this is going to fold over nicely. And if you've got too much white showing, you just take some ink and ink in there. I'm actually going to do that right now because I can tell the white is going to show. And I'm using scorched timber on this paper. It goes really well with it, but you use whatever you like. Okay. I'm just dry fitting this. Okay. I'm not going to attach it yet, but what I'm trying to do now is just make sure that I have enough ink on here where no white is going to show. Okay, it looks good. Now the next tag is the medium tag, and it is going to attach here on the back of this like so. Now, another thing to keep in mind, these little hinges are going to show. If you don't like that, then I would recommend cutting these tags in half and then gluing them together as two separate pieces. That way you can hide your hinge on the inside of the tag. I'm not doing that. It doesn't bother me, but that is an option if you don't want to see that hinge. Okay, so this would attach like so. I want to make sure I've got enough room there to fold this over. And I can already tell it's kind of tight, so I'm going to have to like refold it just a little bit. So let me go ahead and ink this hinge a little bit more. And I'm going to give this a little bit of extra room, just a tiny bit, just like that. And then refold this edge over here, just to give me some more wiggle room. And as a result, I'm going to have some of that showing. That's okay, we can trim it off. And I just want to fold this over and make sure there's plenty of room. And that looks good. This is a bit fiddly, but it's really worth it in the end. Okay. So I'm going to trim this off right here. Turn it over and trim this off. And you'll check the bottom. Just a smidge. Actually, I think I can fold that back up in there. So if you do have to refold it just a little bit, you may not have to do it as much as I'm doing here. I'm going to re-ink all the little places that I cut. Make sure no white is showing. And I think that looks good. Now, when you're attaching these tags, you can put them all at the bottom. You can center them however you want this to look for you. Right, I think I'm going to center them, and so let's go ahead and glue this side of the tag. Wiggle that out just a little bit to leave some room, and then close this up. Let's make sure, yep. Give that a good pressing. And you can see we will have to go back in there and ink a little bit, but I'm gonna wait till the glue is dry. All right, now for the last one, this will attach here. We're going to do the exact same thing. Just dry fit it a little bit, see if we need to do any refolding. And since this one sits on top of that tag, we're probably going to be okay with not having to refold. But I am going to put some more ink in here. Put that right there. Okay, yep. Perfect. Since we don't have to wiggle this one around a little bit, I'm wondering what I did here. Oh, I see what I did. And you don't have to. I put the hinge on this side, which you can also do. Or you can set it on top. Whichever side the hinge doesn't interfere with too much will probably be. I don't think it's going to matter either way. So on the prototype, just so we don't cause any more confusion, we can put it like this, center it, or you can put the hinge on top of this tag. I'm going to go ahead and stick with what I did on the prototype and put it on the bottom. Okie dokie. Let's eyeball the center on this. Again, leaving a little bit of space in there, just so everything has room to wiggle around in. And then we're going to fold this up, give it a squish. Check for any places we need. Now that doesn't look bad. Nah, doesn't look bad at all. Okay. All right. Now, there's a pocket in the Freebie, and that sits on top of the middle tag, just like this. And so we're going to go ahead and glue that down. I'm going to use art glitter glue for that. And that sits on there perfectly. Again, let's check and make sure everything's folding up nicely. And I'm just going to run a card down inside this pocket, make sure we didn't glue it directly to the tag. Just leave that in there for just a minute while that dries. Now, I included a set of tickets. You can use that on these tags if you wanted to. One option would be to make a little belly band and stick one of the other tickets inside, and we may do that. I'm going to go, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and put these toppers on the tags. You've got one larger one for the bigger tag and then two small ones for the little one. So let's go ahead and get those attached. And this is just a fun little interactive flip that you can put in your journals. All right, so these I think are good and dry now. So this tag would go in here like this. And I'll show you, I think that would work. Take one of these, whichever one you'd like. and glue along 3 sides. And we're creating a little tiny, tiny pocket. We're going to cover up our little deer, but that's okay. Let that dry. And let's see, let's put another little tuck over here. And do the same thing. Just glue on 3 sides right along the edge. Want to make sure we leave plenty of room to put that little tag. Let's see, what else can we do? This right here. All right, so we have a tag here. We're going to put a little tiny tag right here. Yeah, it's going to be a snug fit, but it's going. Let that dry just a tiny bit more. And over here, we can put the other tag. Or you can use this as a tuck for the other tickets. I can't talk today. Let's see, how does that? It's good right there. Okay, let's see. I think we can just put this other tag right in here with the big one. Okay. That works. Yeah, that's going to be fine. All right, so this would sit on the page like this and open up like this. Or once it glued, it would open up like this. That is so cool. So to keep this from not flopping around all over the place, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can include a little piece of ribbon that you would... Now, let me take that back. Let me think about this for a minute. Okay, I think I've come up with a solution. One solution is not do anything, just leave it like it is. But if you want to close it down a little bit, I'm going to take some ribbon here, and it frays a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit of fray check on the very end. You can get this most anywhere, fabric stores, Walmart, in the sewing section. That'll just keep it from shredding out a little bit. And then I'm going to put a Velcro dot right here on the very end. But I'm going to also use some glue. These are really sticky, but I don't trust them. So we're going to put that right there. I'm going to take the little fuzzy dot and we're going to stick that right on top. I am going to glue that down, but not right yet. Flip this over, and then I'm going to cut it off to match the edge of that hinge right there. And then we'll just glue that down. Okay? So let's get everybody in their little permanent home. Remember, leave a little bit of room to fold. And that works good. Okay. Now let's take our ribbon. I'm going to put a little fray check on that edge too. This stuff dries pretty quick. So let me let that dry thoroughly and I'll come right back. Okay, that's mostly dry. All right. I'll just close this up and bring it around, not too tight. And then we're just going to put some glue reinforcement on this dot, Velcro dot. Make sure it looks fairly straight, and then press down. And this ribbon I'm using, I'm fairly sure came from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, let's see. Nope, Walmart. Holiday time. Okay. Now, I would not fool with this Velcro until that has had time to thoroughly dry, but there you go, guys. That I just love the way this turned out, and I hope you guys will go out there and get that freebie and try to do this yourself. It's just I love it. So there'll probably be other creative ways you can put these tags together. This is just the way that I chose to do it. So play around with it and have some fun. And I do hope you will go out there and get it. And if you haven't joined my Ko-fi site, please feel free to do that while you're there. And if you have any questions about anything you saw me do today, please don't hesitate to ask your questions in the comment section below. And I thank you so much for spending your time with me today. And I hope you have a very blessed day. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.